Listen 6 minutes. Share comment on this story. Add a comment. Add to your saved stories. Save CAIRO. It has been a week since Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt was effectively closed following Israeli airstrikes on the main crossing for possible aid convoys and an exit route for desperate people seeking to leave besieged Palestinian territory. ArrowRight As humanitarian situation in Gaza deteriorates. Hundreds tons of aid remain stranded on the Egyptian side crossing, despite growing international calls to provide aid to Gaza civilians. Meanwhile, foreign passport holders on the Palestinian side are also looking for a way out. Questions and confusion remain as to why Rafah is still closed. On Monday, following news that Egypt, Israel and U.S. had agreed to reopen crossing trucks full of aid-lined road in Egypt's nearest city, Arish, while foreigners and dual nationals crowded gates on Palestinian side. However, Israel and Hamas denied that an agreement had been reached. Long talks between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet, which lasted until the early hours of Tuesday, yielded no statement on any agreement, even as trucks carrying aid began to approach the Rafah crossing from Arish. Aid trucks later returned. Why is the Gate of Prosperity so important? The passage between southern edge of the Gaza Strip and Egypt's northern Sinai is only link that Israel does not control from Gaza. In peacetime, the Rafah crossing serves as a vital transit point for Palestinians living outside Gaza to visit relatives there and for those living in the Strip to receive medical treatment in Egypt. Egypt has strict control over the border, and those who wish to cross the border must obtain permission from Palestinian and Egyptian authorities. North Sinai, where Egypt has been fighting Islamist militants for a decade, remains heavily militarized. Egypt has long feared instability emanating from Gaza. On October 7, Hamas militants in Gaza launched a multi-pronged attack on Israel, killing at least 1,400 Israelis. People and goods were able to pass through Rafah after a few days. Rafah ceased its operations on October 10 after Israeli retaliatory attacks damaged the border gate. Israeli ardment in Gaza injured or killed thousands of Palestinians. Israel has also cut off food, fuel, electricity and water to the Strip's more than 2 million residents. Drinking water is running out and the United Nations has raised alarm about the potential for diseases to spread without proper sanitation. Hospitals are overcrowded and running out of generators and supplies. Israel's evacuation warning on Saturday calling for 1.1 million people living in northern Gaza to move south ahead of an expected ground offensive worsened the crisis. Aid workers say. Who controls welfare? The Rafah crossing is officially controlled by Palestinian authorities in Egypt and Gaza. About 80 people were killed in attacks on Rafah and NEA.